So last time, we really went big picture, didn't we? Looking at the creation of, well, everything on that huge cosmic scale.
Exactly. The grand sweep of Genesis 1, it's quite something.
But for this deep dive, we're changing gears completely. We're zooming right in, getting much more personal with Genesis chapter 2.
It's a definite shift. You go from the vastness of the universe to this really intimate, almost tactile scene.
Like moving from the architect's master plan to watching the sculptor at work on one specific piece.
That's a great way to put it. Genesis 1 shows God the creator, speaking things into existence. Genesis 2, though, feels more like God the craftsman, getting hands-on.
And the focus of that hands-on work is humanity and the specific place made for us, the Garden of Eden.
Precisely. It's about that very close, direct involvement in forming us and our first home.
So that's our focus today, exploring what this intimate beginning tells us about, well, who you're supposed to be.
And our mission really is to unpack the meaning there. What are these foundational stories saying about human identity, about purpose? Because they're not just old tales, they still, resonate.
Okay, let's dive in then. Genesis 2.7. It says, "Then the Lord God formed man of dust from the ground." That image itself, God forming man.
It's striking, isn't it? That word formed. It implies care, intention, like a potter shaping clay. It's not instantaneous creation by word alone, like we saw before.
For much more direct interaction.
Yes. And then the second part, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. That breath, that ruach in Hebrew, it's more than just air.
It's spirit, life force.
Exactly. It's the divine spark. It signifies that humanity, while formed from the earth, is animated by something transcendent, something directly from God. It sets humanity apart.
So, right from the start, we're presented as intentional, not just, a cosmic afterthought or accident.
Definitely intentional. Deliberately crafted and deliberately given life. And think about the materials.
Dust.
Humble origins.
Earthy.
Very earthy. It points to our connection to the physical world, maybe our fragility, our mortality even. We're grounded.
But then there's the breath.
So you have this inherent duality made from the common stuff of the earth, yet holding this divine animating life force. Dust and divinity woven together.
It really speaks to the human condition, doesn't it? That feeling of being limited yet capable of more.
It absolutely does. It captures that tension we often feel, that mix of the mundane and the potential for something sacred within us.
Okay, so humanity is formed. Then the focus shifts slightly to the setting, the Garden of Eden.
Right, and it's not just a wilderness. The text says God planted a garden. Again, that sense of intention, preparation.
Designing a specific place.
Seems like it. A place tailored for human thriving. Lush, watered, full of trees, good for food, and pleasing to the eye. It sounds idyllic.
And into this garden, Adam is placed with a job to do. Genesis 2.15, to cultivate it and keep it. What's the significance of work being there right at the beginning?
Well, it immediately tells us work wasn't originally a curse, right? It predates any fall or negative consequences.
The work is good, part of the plan.
It seems so. Presented as a purposeful activity, a responsibility. Cultivate and keep, abad and shamar in Hebrew. It implies serving, tending, guarding, preserving. It suggests a partnership.
A partnership with God in caring for creation.
That's certainly one interpretation. It gives humanity a meaningful role, a way to contribute, to interact responsibly with this perfect environment. It's not passive enjoyment, it's active participation.
Interesting. But even in this, paradise with a purpose, something's identified as missing. God observes, it is not good for the man to be alone.
And that's a huge moment, because up until this point in the creation narrative, everything God assessed was declared good or very good. This is the first not good.
What does that tell us?
It underscores that relationship, companionship is fundamental to human well-being. Even in a perfect place with divine connection and purpose, aloneness isn't the ideal state. We're designed for connection.
Which leads directly to the creation of woman.
Yes, and it's described so uniquely, not formed from dust this time, but taken from Adam's side during a deep sleep.
Genesis 2.21:22, the rib story.
Yeah.
There's a lot packed into that, surely.
There really is. The symbolism is rich. Taken from the side suggests equality, partnership, standing alongside, not subordinate or superior. It emphasizes a shared essence.
Bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, as Adam puts it.
Exactly. His reaction is immediate recognition. It's not just, oh, another creature. It's, this is part of me. This is like me. This is my counterpart.
It sounds like the foundation of deep relationship, of marriage.
It's presented precisely that way. The first human relationship built on recognition, complementarity, and unity. It suggests this kind of bond is woven into the fabric of creation's design for humanity.
That deep need for connection and finding that counterpart, it feels very universal.
It really does, and it flows right into the final image of the chapter.
Genesis 2.25. The man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. We often focus on the physical nakedness, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It represents complete openness, vulnerability. No barriers, no hiding physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Total transparency.
Total transparency and trust. Shame implies something to hide, a fear of judgment or exposure. Its absence here suggests a state of pure innocence, perfect intimacy with each other, and complete ease in their relationship with God.
A world without masks, without pretense.
Exactly. It's the picture of original harmony humanity connected to God, connected to nature through their work, and deeply connected to each other, all in a state of trusting vulnerability.
It's a beautiful, peaceful image.
It truly is. And of course, as peaceful as it is, there's always that sense in the narrative, a sort of foreshadowing that this perfect state is perhaps fragile.
Right. It sets the stage for what comes next, which we'll definitely have to get into in another deep dive.
Indeed. But staying with Genesis 2 for now.
What are the big takeaways we should hold on to from this chapter?
For me, it's that picture of humanity being personally formed, with care, humble origins from dust, but elevated by divine life.
And given purpose. Placed somewhere specific with a job to do.
Yes, purpose and responsibility from the start. And crucially, created for relationship, for connection, for that kind of open, unashamed intimacy.
So as you're listening to this, maybe think about how these ancient ideas land with you today. This concept of being intentionally made, having inherent value, needing connection.
Yeah, how does that resonate in your own life? That duality we talked about, the dust and the divine breath, the everyday limitations and that spark of something more, that deep need for connection.
Does seeing that original picture change how you view yourself, maybe your purpose or your relationships?
It's definitely something worth mulling over. How does understanding that original design formed with care, meant for connection, impact how you navigate the world now?
A powerful question. And something to keep in mind as we eventually turn to look at how this initial harmony gets disrupted. Remembering this foundation will be important.
Absolutely, remembering the intention behind it all.
So until next time, keep pondering these things. Stay curious and maybe reflect on those origins.